So hello guys and welcome back. And I was actually I have a little bit of a story before we get into this one. So I was actually looking to one of my old boxes. I was doing some spring cleaning, and look what I found. When I was apparently when I was a kid, I actually have some of these old StarCraft figures. Pretty cool. This is Zealot, obviously the Marine without his gun, because I know the gun is just there somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm just sharing. It's apparently I've been a StarCraft fan since I was a kid. It was a box with StarCraft and Crash Bandicoot. So, I've been playing StarCraft since then. I've never been good at it against other people, but I always love to just have some fun, build some bases, and look to, enjoy to begin with. And that's where we're getting into these games, right? Gold to Diamond is your entry points into, well, the quarantine tournament. It's for some of our newer players to get into the action, especially if you're just busy trying to climb the ladder. And this Zealot does not stand. He refuses to stand at all. He's like, no, my hooves are just not good enough for standing. Come on, Zealot. You can do it. The Marine is doing it. Come on. You can do it too. Never mind. Okay, you lie down. Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be getting into our next game, and we are going to see a PvZ yet again. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see another PvZ. And like I've been saying before, this is actually going to be a pretty dire situation for Protoss. Because if GBoy does not win this series, this is going to be the first ever time that we will not get Protoss into the semifinals, into that top 4. We will see Terran and Zerg actually be represented there. We already have Agent X as well as our previous winner a while ago, Jomsky for Zerg. And we have, of course, GLG for Terran. So it all boils down to this. Can GBoy clutch it out against your boy, Malupeyt, who has pretty much given the record in the quarantine tournament with a 2-minute game last time against his opponent there in the round of 16. So this is going to be do or die truly for Protoss, but it's also going to be do or die for Malupeyt. And if he wants to keep up his momentum, if he wants to keep up his progress in the tournament, then he has to win it in style. And the funny thing is, we are going to see the map that he made history on first and foremost into the series. We are going to start things off on Deathaura LE. Will we see the double extractor trick pull drone all in again? Or will we see Mr. Gobelam here figure something out a little different, play a little more standard, but still play on his aggressive playstyle? I do expect, though, these games to go quicker. I've seen Malupeyt as well as Subi play the aggro before, and it's not going to be as macro fiesta as that last game. But before we get into this one, don't forget, guys, we are sponsored by Pure PC as well as Block 101. Big shout outs to them. This, of course, presented to you by DLS Missile, Daks PH, as well as Ayos Buhay Productions. But that's not wasting any time. We are going to be getting into our second game. We had a long first series there in our first Gold to Diamond. And who knows what we're going to be getting into this second one, though. After this, we'll be getting into Masters Plus. But let's get it on. Let's get it done. And let's get into the game. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. This is going to be going all down to this for the Protoss race. Like I said before, if our Protoss player loses, we are not going to see Protoss anymore into this tournament. But introducing first, here on the southeast side, the last hope and the one who put the ring on it. His name is Subi, or his GBoy. And his opponents looking to keep the Zerg momentum on. He's won Beast Mode before, and he's looking to do it again. Keeping it up on the northwest side of that aura. LE, his name is Gobelam or Malupeyt. My tongue got stuck there. This guy, though, at the very least, we don't see the two extractors immediately. We see him actually playing the macro, and we are going to see Gobelam right now look to go for the hatchery first, which is a far cry from what we've been seeing from him. We've seen him go for the pull first. We've seen him go for the early aggression here and there. And Subi, in the meantime, it's a proxy pylon on the low ground. What's the plan, Subi? Oh no. I spy with my little eye a Minute 1 Forge. And it is cannon rush time. What an insult, in all honesty. What an answer. Seeing what Gobelam did against his opponent there into the last Deathaura LE map. This is just pure irony. This is just absolute pure irony. And this GBoy right now creeping on closer and closer. Surprise, surprise, Malupeyt. It's gonna be a cannon coming your way. And immediately the pool is gonna get cancelled. He is gonna be putting that one in behind. What's the plan right now for Malupeyt? That's gonna be a question there. Natural gonna get zoned on out. And the thing to note, though, is there is a distinct advantage Zerg has against a cannon rush, which means that the creep is there to keep these cannons from being built ever so closer. So it's a zoning cannon rush right now. And Subi, what's the plan for him after this one? He's already gotten into the gateway. He's maximizing profits on one base. And he can go for a really good contain so far, but the drones are going to get pulled to try and shut down the cannon here. In the meantime, though, here comes more and more of these cannons, and the Overlord gonna get popped as well. What a call here from Subi. I haven't seen a cannon rush in this tournament so far, and I'm happy to see it right now. There you go, guys. This is a cheese game waiting to happen. We're seeing the cheese game. We're seeing the spice. We're seeing a different flavor. And after all of this, GBoy is just going to be letting it loose, letting it free, and going to be putting twin cannons on each pylon. So he's basically playing tower defense right now over anything else. He's setting up in a way that he's going for the contain, he's going for the natural, he's getting rid of the larva, and this is going to be basically Gobblam having to answer back with the early roaches. One base pool roach. Usually you see this as an all-in, but in this case, it's the only way he's going to survive to try and shut things down. Spinecrawler to help it out, because look in behind all of this. Subi is using this opportunity to put the cannon down. He also goes for the Cyber Core. He stays on one base though. This can be an all-in from this situation because Subi realizes that in a case like this, it's dangerous if any Zergling gets to go for the run by. And even though Malupeyt is anchoring himself to go for, well, the roaches, he's also looking to harass his opponent. And I like this here from Mr. GBoy because this will answer back against whatever this hatchery has planned. Really good call for Malupeyt though, to put that hatchery all the way there. Also a proxy hatchery in essence, because he is going to be expecting absolutely nothing on this main base. But for now though, shield batteries being built. Subi has also brought in the Zealot and even a proxy robo gonna be here. So it's now cheese versus cheese by this point in time. But this hatchery that was built to be a little different from before, gonna be going on down very, very soon. But Gobblam answering back with the Ravagers. Really good call. These stationary buildings can't do anything against the Biles. And the spell casting is gonna be instrumental to keep the DPS on. There we go though, with the shots, with the damage. One cannon will go down. And slow but steady wins the race here for Gobblam. But the problem for Malupeyt right now is this is just GBoy playing a more macro-oriented tension after everything is said and done. Shield battery also online, gonna be very helpful to keep the Stalker and the Zealot still into the fray. And with the Immortal now gonna get Chrono boosted out, I think that's gonna be an instrumental unit to keep the harassment on. This is just basically Malupeyt fighting for his life. He has to go beast mode here on the defense. He has to go for an amazing counter attack, and he has to figure it out and fast. But that pylon would shut down the shield battery in the cannon here. This Stalker has to get the hell out of there in the first place. And now one checkpoint has been cleared by Gobblam into this one. So at the very least, our Zerg is making space for himself. But what's happening in behind? The thing to note though is Subi has not gone into Warp Gate research because he's only gonna get one gas intake. He doesn't want to use the gas that he's getting for, well, that Warp Gate, because that means that's one extra Stalker. And with the Immortal in play, he can also go for one more Immortal, and he can go for the Warp Prism here with the minerals that he's getting. Still though, more cannons are being built. Shield battery gonna be there. And in the meantime, we see Malupeyt right now finally trying to go for 2-base economy actually here with the drones.
Your forces
Question
are
is though,
under
what does he see on the main base? He knows that it's blockaded with a cannon, so he is just gonna be looking to go for the push out with the Ravage instead. Good micro though from GBoy so far, keeping the Immortal alive with the pickup. And the shield battery is at the very least keeping the top up on the Immortal into the fray. Barrier gonna be very important for the Immortal to stay alive, of course. And that is gonna be the probe trying to get the hell out of there. But here we go with the shots already. Immortal trying to get microed here. And it's up to GBoy to show us what he's got. He has to avoid not only the Biles, but keep the DPS on in time to slowly and systematically pick off these Ravagers. But because here for Gobblam, problem right now, even though he's going for 2 gas extraction, he just doesn't have enough minerals going into his intake. And it's really so difficult here for our Zerg to keep up against what Subi is trying to do. But what a call so far. This one Immortal has to be the bread and butter here. And you can expect Void Rays, right, to be something to be warped in instead as it's become more popular. But Subi is showing off with his micro. Here we go again with the pickup. Looking for drop-off Bile, though. Gonna get avoided yet again. And it's really the floor is lava, or in this case, the sky is lava here. If we see Malupeyt hit all of those Biles and the Warp Prism has the units inside, that's gonna be GG for this aggression here from our Protoss. Two Immortals though better than one, and you can see the shots hammering home. This is just GBoy adding up more and more, and you can see what the really Gold to Diamond is all about. The aggression is completely on point. Here we go again with GBoy, bringing more of the Stalkers, and this is looking to be Married Man gameplay so far, guys, as the Immortal still avoids all of those shots. Now, what else does GBoy get with the Warp Prism? Obviously, it has to be that high ground vision, and he's keeping these 4 units alive. These guys are playing an absolute ballet of deaths and demise, and it really feels like whoever missteps first will lose out the whole game. But Malupeyt has had enough. He's gonna go for the advance, and at the very least, he's gonna get fended off by the Stalkers, but a third Immortal is added to the mix, and every single time we see GBoy get another Immortal, the noose against Malupeyt's next gets just tighter and tighter, and the question is, can he actually keep up against all of this? But what's the plan right now for Malupeyt? He's trying to add up more onto that proxy base, and he's looking to just get more and more of that income to build an overwhelming army. But as GBoy has actually gotten Warp Gate amongst all of this, he is very confident to go for the push, and he's adding up more shield batteries to keep things alive. I like the call here. The Immortals are instrumental to keep this fight in the States. And with the shield batteries, it's just gonna be easy pokes and prods. One Stalker will go down. Every unit that dies for both sides is gonna be instrumental into this game. And while we see the Zergling try to bring in the hurts, this is just gonna be Malupeyt still focusing in the front line. But in any case though, it's still anyone's game. Malupeyt's gonna get caught though in the funnel, and he can't push out all of this. But in behind, some roaches trying to get rid of, well, whatever GBoy has here. But unfortunately for those roaches, Malupeyt doesn't know that there are cannons ready, and GBoy has already thought of any kind of ninja expansions that has happened so far. So it's all up to the Immortal versus the Ravagers yet again. Bots right now looking to go for the connection, and this time it shuts down whatever's being built there. The cannon's still creeping forward more and more, and the Observer is already into play. We finally see GBoy have enough gas for 2 of the Observers into this one, and Subi is decided to go up the ramp and feel utter confidence to take this win. He is just hammering home. Face Disruptors are online. That is just gonna be the Immortals hammering as many things down, and this might be game, set, and match. Malupeyt still surviving for a little bit more, but I don't think that this is going to be okay for a Zerg whatsoever. He's going for Zerglings right now. He's absolutely desperate to reinforce his front line, but the Ravagers falling one at a time. It's not going to be enough. The wings are there, but it doesn't matter because these Immortals are way too tanky to begin with. That is just not enough Zerglings whatsoever. There we go with the Roaches going for the pincer, but here comes the trouble. Here comes the hurt, and on to the main base we go. Now GBoy knows exactly where the ninja expansion is. It's all the way on the east side because of the direction the Roaches came from, and you can even see because of the AI on the drones, it exposes exactly where Malupeyt has a base. So now with GBoy knowing where to look in, this is going to be so difficult for Malupeyt to survive. He's going to be losing all the tech. He's going to be trying to build spine crawlers on absolutely nothing, and it's just high time for the cleanup to happen. But Malupeyt still doesn't want to give up. He knows his tournament life is on the line if he loses this series, so he's going to go for Banelingness instead, and he will have to rebuild that spawning pool ASAP. But interesting enough, there we go with the drone pull, going for the fight for your life situation. But with this one base almost mined out, Subi has to be careful. He will eventually need to go for a Nexus if this game goes a little longer. But with times 3 the worker count and times 3 the army, I don't really think that Malupeyt can even win this game anymore. This is such a good shutdown on a main base, and that is how you do a cannon rush, ladies and gentlemen. So one last chance for Malupeyt, and he's not gonna go for the drop. He's just gonna try his luck with a Baneling bus. Can he actually do it though? These Banelings are creeping closer and closer. The Photon Cannon, though, not the toughest building. And there we go with the slam on down. This makes an entry point here for Malupeyt. And this can actually allow him to shut down this mineral line. So pretty good shot here from Malupeyt to at least get rid of the economy. But the problem, it becomes a base race because, as we said, GBoy knows exactly where to look at. And with the fact of the matter that Malupeyt has to not only deal with the base here, but also the base all the way on his side of the map. I don't think it's gonna happen. Here we go, Malupeyt calling it GG. A really good effort. The Baning bus to shut down the worker. In the end, though, it was just that cannon rush set up at the right time, at the right idea, and well played there to GBoy. That's how you do a cannon rush contain. It was just not as desperate as you'd expect. It was him still understanding he needed to go for the macro. That was a really good proxy robo. Immortals winning the game for him. And well played there to GBoy. You don't want to full commit on your cheese. You want to make sure that you have a better idea and plan. And against the Zerg, that's how you do it, guys. So well played there to GBoy. A good defense from Malupeyt. But our Protoss is looking to make it to the semifinals. And it seems like no one can stop him by this point in time. That was a fun first game. And I'm glad we saw that happen. Unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. The recall was there. But in the end, I really think that even if Malupeyt shut down the pylons, shut down all the buildings there, it didn't matter because it still would have been the cannons defending, and it still would have been the Warp Prism going for the drops, and some good micro that we've seen already from GBoy kept up on to the game would just lead to the downfall of Malupeyt. He couldn't build too many units now. He didn't have the tech. And, you know, that was just that. Even though he was going for the second hatchery, still there was a chance, and he took that chance and more. But GG, well played. GBoy takes the win. GG, well played there to Malupeyt as well, looking to defend against that one. But in the end, only one can win here in StarCraft, and it is GBoy there taking the first map. But, that game, guys. That game was amazing. One of my favorite games so far in the tournament, in all honesty, that actually went to a pretty solid distance. And well played indeed to our two players, but we are not done yet. We still have a second map here, and it's going to be a good chance for Malupeyt to bring it back up. But he has to make sure that he has got boomed after that ground. He has to make sure that he still can fight against his opponents. And with a more macro-based map, then there is a good chance to see it coming. Because here we go into Ice and Chrome. And I fully expect that GBoy go for a bigger army here and now. We've seen how he can play the aggro. And sure, he can go for the proxy again onto a few corners here and there. But I'd love to see what GBoy has in store for us in this set. What kind of strategy will he be looking to bring against Malupeyt to secure him a semi-final slot? And the question here right now is what kind of aggro play will we see from Malupeyt to try and reel it back and go force a game number 3? We'll find out very, very soon as we are going to be getting into game. But my oh my, what a series this has been so far. What a gold to diamond bracket we've gotten. The macro orientation of the first set that we did. And now we're seeing cheese versus aggression. That's just amazing what we've gotten so far. And I'm so happy that the quality of their games here in Gold to Diamond, sure, it still reflects their skill level, but it does make it so entertaining. It does make it so that these guys have been working their asses off to try and be the best they can be. And this is Diamond versus Diamond, guys, so get ready, know that the quality is there. But enough about that. It's a Protoss one map ahead, and let's get it on, let's get it done. Let's move on in to Ice and Chrome LE. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And here we are yet again. We are not done yet with this matchup, as it is a best of 3 test for our two players. But introducing first, here on the top right of Ice and Chrome LE, he's one map ahead, the last chance for Protoss, and his name is GBoy. His opponent, though, here on the southwest corner of Ice and Chrome, instead, if he's looking for the shutout, if he's looking to show what beast mode is all about, this is his time to start off that reverse sweep. His name is Malupeyt, and he's on that red Zerg. Well, 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 how the turns have tabled, as Malupeyt would like to think of, as this is just gonna be the tides turning in favor of Protoss there. You'd expect that it was Malupeyt going for the aggro play, right? But no, sir. GBoy containing him, saying, bad dog, bad beast mode, bad beast mode. Stay in your lane, stay in your spot. And here we go with Malupeyt gonna be going for the hatchery first yet again. In the meantime, though, we are gonna see the first gate here for GBoy. And the question is, though, what's gonna be the play this time? With the gateway first, this does mean it's not Forge first. It does not mean it's Cannon Rush, so we're not gonna see game number 1 again. Oh, okay, so GBoy expecting to play a longer game. 1 gate, 1 core before the Nexus. He wants to make sure he at least has the Adept or the Stalker to try and defend later on. And the drone is like, Peh, I don't like the Cyber Core. It builds range units, and I don't like that. I don't like that a lot. But as the pool is coming online, we're also gonna see Malupeyt go for the Extractor. So I'm expecting a pretty good timed metabolic boost here. But he's only gonna put 2 drones here, so he's not really in a rush to get to that 100 mark. So still, though, it feels like it's a lot more restraint here for Malupeyt so far. Compared to what we've seen in the tournaments, it seems like he's looking to play a little bit more on a starting economy rather than just hammering home from the get-go. So a change of pace here for Malupeyt. And I agree with the decision. Only time will tell, because I've seen him do wonders with short games, with up to mid-game games. But when he gets to the later mid-game and the late game, that's where his decision-making kind of falls apart. And if he's trying to actualize himself, and if he's trying to prove to us that he's not just the aggro player that we think of him, that he can be a macro player, then sure, this can be a really good opportunity for him to prove us wrong. But in an instance like this is your tournament life. And if you're not going to be playing the aggro that you're known for, then you might as well show up or shut up with whatever you're trying to do so far. But as I say that, it seems like we are gonna see the aggression here from Malupeyt again. He's gonna add more and more of these links. He's only gonna be on 21 workers, so yes, it will be a flood to try and go for the harassment to begin with. He's also gonna be adding up queens to collection, creep tumors, as well as defenses for the later fights. And in the meantime, it's already Subi looking to answer back with the Adept and the Stalker. Shield Battery gonna get timed up as well. He already knows that his opponent loves to go for the aggro, so I like the 1 gate 1 core play before the Nexus to make sure that he is good to go to defend against anything else. But he has to make sure also that this line is still not gonna get crossed. Stalker in front, tankier unit. Good call indeed. Also a little more bulky, also a little fatter, so it makes sure that the plug of the leak is always proper. For now though, the thing to note is this is gonna be your standard fanfare in a way. 2 base, and GBoy gonna be self-containing himself to protect him against the dangers of the outside world that are the Zerglings. Problem right now though is for Malupeyt is he does have to go such a long way to make it to his opponent. Something you do though is go for a third hatchery as well, and we see that very often on Ice and Chrome. You take the third base here as much as possible, try to stay on your own side, and creep on forward from there and look to get a bigger and better army because of the map size itself. But look at how many units Malupeyt has. It's 32 lings, but what is that being built on the horizon? It's already a Void Ray. So it's a Stargate opening here for GBoy. We tried to keep it hidden, but now the Void Ray is exposed. And something about the Void Ray is, it's really good. That's it. It's a really good unit again. You gotta thank the balance patch for that. Smiling on the Void Ray again. And it feels like it's not just a unit to try and complement things. You can really build your composition around it in the first place, and you can see right now it's just trying to tear up a few of the banelings here and there. It's doing all it can and more, getting in a good spot, but the baneling bus gonna be slamming on down, and it's just gonna be a force field to keep the buildings alive. Good call there from GBoy, self-containing already and keeping the flood away from these buildings. The Void Ray also gonna get a few hits here and there, and GBoy also looking to maximize the DPS against the banelings. Well played there to GBoy. Target prioritization is very important for any player, and would you see that there's nothing that can hurt your flying unit? That's just that. The banelings were the target. That was a really good call there. And the fact of the matter right now is Malupeyt can't force this anymore. These are too many Adepts. These are some Stalkers. This is Sentry and Shield Batteries to keep this space alive. And the Baneling Nest, sure, was a good call, but against the Void Ray there, picking it off, it's just not gonna happen. And here we are with the Void Rays gonna get added up to collection. Also an Immortal into play here. Interesting that Subi does not go for the Warp Prism instead, but he just wants to make sure that he's ready for whatever is there to come. 2 bases right now, fully maximized, and this is where Malupeyt is gonna be in a spot of trouble, because this is the Depths harassing the mineral line, and the problem here is Malupeyt is not ready for anything into the late game, into the mid game, because he only has 30 workers. He's only getting the next 2 Extractors right now, and he has barely any anti-air except the Queens, and this Void Ray is having a field day. Hello, Miss Queen. Goodbye, Miss Queen. And this is harassment onto the mineral line again. Malupeyt has no answers for this. The Spore Crawler is ill-timed. He was way too busy on the natural there to actually get it done. And there is just no way for Malupeyt to keep this drone line alive for the time being. Prismatic Alignmental has been popped. And can it actually melt the Spore Crawler in time? It's going to be half HP. There we go with the shots. But I do believe that Malupeyt is going to lose the Spore Crawler. And GBoy is still here onto this base. 14 kills already for the Void Ray. The Queen looking to go and try and shut it down. But there is still a little bit of a nook and cranny there for Malupeyt to be unable to get the shot on. And GBoy, what have you done against our Zerg player? That's gonna be that, and it's just so difficult here for Malupeyt to actually work with his 2-base setup. I really don't think that he's gonna be getting any success, even though he does get the scout on the main base and sees everything coming this way. It's just so hard right now for all of these links to try and figure something out, and Malupeyt will go for a last hurrah potentially. He's gonna be running on around, going for the Marathon Man, but something that Malupeyt doesn't want to do is give up. This is his tournament life. This is his last chance to make it in the semifinals. And even though things look dire, there is still a chance for him. But he's down the workers, he's down the army. And I'm just waiting for GBoy to feel confident enough to actually go into the 3rd base. Like, this is going to be such a good time for our Protoss to actually push on forward. And what a way to try and show up in the first place. It really goes to show GBoy has done his homework and more. The Banelings have gotten the bust on. But the thing to note is that there's no follow-up. That was just the link saying, okay, you broke the 2 buildings. What do we do now? What do we do now? kind of awkward in all honesty. You use all of that minerals and gas just to break a gateway in a cyber core and have no follow-up. So Malupeyt has to be rattled basically, and he's trying to defend his main base again. This Void Ray finally has full shields, but he has to stay on away because the Queen is there to shut it down again and again. And how many Void Rays does Malupeyt has? He has 2. One is here on the west side, and it is ready to just basically prevent a third base from happening. It's basically there to keep tabs on the natural as well. And we are seeing GBoy just build every little bit that he needs to win this game. He has such a good advantage right now. He can just go for the push and win this game out in all honesty. The Void Rays are there. The only thing he has to be careful of is if ever a run by happens. And I think that's why GBoy isn't really committing as of yet, because it's still a good number of Zerglings. And as I say that, we are also going to get Mutas into play. So it seems like here for Malupeyt, he's going to be going for 2-base Muta for now, because his third base is just way too late to begin with. And it's a way to shut down the Void Ray. It's gonna allow him to chase around these units. And he can, of course, go for Corruptor later on. But you already know that it's so finicky what Malupeyt is doing. Going on 2-base Muta and with very late gas means that you're gonna get 1 burst of the Mutable and that's it. You're not gonna have too many bats out of hell. You're not gonna have too many units flying on around. And GBoy is just happy to build cannons for the third base to make his life even easier to begin with. What's next though for GBoy? He's gone into Robotech. He's also got the Fleet Peak on, interesting enough. And what's the play here? Will it be carriers or will it be Flux Veins? I'd love to see more of these Void Rays amplified. But the thing note though, GBoy is expanding his horizon, expanding his tech on 2-base, and that's not really the wisest decision per se. Like, sure, you can go for the Roll Facility and the Stargate, but going for the Robo Bay and the Fleet Beacon does cost you a lot of resources. And you can really see for GBoy, that's why he doesn't have the biggest army that can really contend against his opponent. Sure, he's playing the defensive really well, but from what I'm seeing from this game, I would have expected him to actually push out with a few units here and there. If only he didn't diversify his portfolio into this one. But you know, it's just what? Cautious play, I guess. He's ready for everything. He's ready for anything. And okay, Carrier has arrived. So Carrier and Colossus. This is what you do, I guess, when you have such a big lead against your opponent. Might as well build every unit you want to build. Make a web of whatever kind of units you want. And hello guys, I hope you guys are having a good time here at the quarantine tournament. But that first game was very, very exciting. And this is just GBoy keeping ahead on to this game instead. 3 bases though for our Protoss. Here for our Red Zerg. He's finally gotten the third base up and running. And he is going to be forced to go for the macro hatch as well. Do you know how difficult Malupeyt's life really is right now because of how he's building his bases? 40 workers to 53. We are going to see the upgrades though going online. And GBoy even going for +1 air. Mates! Just go attack already. But at the very least, it's time for Malupeyt to show us what he's got. This Mutable is actually pretty scary in all honesty. Battery overcharge though is there. And it's keeping the cannon alive for the time being. There we go with the shutdown on the 1-stalkers are also going to get warped on in. And Malupeyt can be retreating instead to go for another base because of the battery overcharge. Gonna get baited out now to begin with. But now we go into the natural instead. There we go, the gamers killing a few of the workers here and there. And what's the call right now for GBoy here? This is Malupeyt actually getting some really good damage onto the natural itself. But the stalkers are into position. There we go with the Void Ray as well. It's time for mobility. It's time for movement. And the carrier gonna arrive, sure, but it will fall very, very soon because these mutas are giving chase as much as possible. But Malupeyt is very hungry for the carrier. And since he kept alive the shield battery for a longer time, that's extra DPS. And the big ball of mutas, they were very vital to keep the harassment on. He's gonna lose a good chunk of them in this push. Well, though. Well. The carriers are there. It will fall. Come on, bro. Really? This is just him styling. This is just a guy saying, I'm gonna style my opponent. It's like, if you know beast mode, this is, I don't know. I don't even have a term for it in all honesty. This is mothership mode, I guess. This is just, GBoy. You know, we respect GBoy a lot. He's gonna be a married man soon. He's been one of the most amazing members in the community, in all honesty. He's been very active. He's very, very supportive of the tournaments. But, dude, do you need to go mothership? Do you really need to do this against Malupeyt? Because right now, these are the mutas here from Malupeyt actually cleaning up house. So, Very good there for Malupeyt, though at the very least, Colossi will get caught as well. Strategic recall, not so strategic there if you're gonna lose out on all those buildings. And here we go also on the main base. Harassment is coming in full force, but at the very least, this mutable is still keeping Malupeyt in the fights. And if GBoy throws his units away again like that, this will give Malupeyt a chance to actually win out this game, because here comes the Mutas yet again. But here is the Mothership going online very soon. There comes a Phoenix as well for GBoy. And it's an interesting call. 9 Stalkers, 1 Carrier, 1 Phoenix, and a Mothership coming. So I don't know what to call this comp. This is the GBoy fuck you composition, I guess, having Sky Toss there. But it was that Stargate opening with the Void Ray to really keep him alive and poke the Banelings as much as possible. Good catch though onto the Torsus Pylon. This means the Shield Battery can't go for the heal on the right side, and this will force GBoy to actually go for the Zergling Warp Cycle, and instead he's going for the duel onto the low ground. He's going for the duel onto the ground itself, and the Mutas are given free reign to do whatever the hell they want. But with only 9 Mutas left, with the defenses here from GBoy standing tall and proud, it's now time for Subi to show us what he's got. The Phoenixes are there to go for the pokes to the prod. And where is it? Come on. Give it to me. Here we go, guys. So I'm not gonna do anything in this game anymore except follow this Mothership, unless we really see GBoy not attack here, because this is the do or die time for GBoy. If he loses this, he can actually get caught out by Malupeyt, but I really don't think Malupeyt has enough of an army to shut this down. You know, this is just looking as like, okay, anyway, Mothership's here. That kind of moment. It's that kind of moment. 3 base economy still up and running here for GBoy, in all honesty. He still has the lead. After all of that, after all of those mutas putting in such a big effort, it's still our Protoss in the lead on the work count. And what has happened to our muta count? It has just been torn apart. And look at the Phoenixes. Go for the duel. I love it here. GBoy is bringing in a style against the anti-air in the first place. And now it's time for the Stalkers to actually push on forward with that Lone Zealot as well. It doesn't even have charge, guys. It's just there for good reason. And while Malupeyt is gonna have an opportunity go for the Baneling Bust again, it's still GBoy looking you know, this game is just, it's just that, yeah, it's just really, yeah, we're seeing our Protoss play with his food and then some. And sure, Malupeyt will have a chance here, but this chance is oh so slim that I really don't think we can be optimistic rather about it, because this is such a tough task for him. He has to make sure his Muta Ball stays alive. He has to make sure the Baneling Bust is actually useful and will get a follow-up. And as I say that, the Muta Ball decides to walk into cannon. So that's already a Tripwire getting caught out. There we go with the Phoenix also getting a catch on. And you can see moving and shooting is the way to go. And here comes the Lynx already going for a last stand. Hoorah. There we go though with the cancel. Good respect though from GBoy. But here comes the Mothership. And Cloak units are just gonna say, ha ha ha, you can't see us. Here we go though with the shots again. The Carrier is getting a DPS on. And you can see while Malupeyt is trying to move on through, he is just gonna get blockaded by the invisibility. Invisibility equals invincibility. And GBoy will defend by getting in the way. GG is called. And good luck to GBoy. He is our lone Protoss representative in the semifinals. But that is just a dab and a half to get that win for GBoy to move on into the next match. Okay. That was the beast right there, getting felled. And like I said, guys, that this is just how to tame a beast, how to catch a predator, and how to shut down a potential 2-minute game, is to first cannon rush your opponent to scare them off, and on the second, build a Mothership just to make them even sadder. So it's a sad state of affairs there for Malupeyt. I feel for him that his opponent even builds a Mothership in front of you, and you just know you can't really do anything about it. 3 base economy. The 2 base push from Malupeyt just didn't pan out whatsoever. Amazing defenses from GBoy. 1 gate, 1 core into the Stargate opening, well timed. And you can see the power, in all honesty, of that build. The Void Ray allows you to go for pickoffs against ground units. It also allows you to harass a few things here and there. And Prismatic Alignment makes it even better. Now, with all the upgrades that it has gotten from the newest patch, then it really goes to show that Void Rays are here to stay and play. And Void Rays are actually a good unit now. You can go for Oracle openings. You can go for Phoenix openings. But you can also go for the Void Ray opening right now. And Stargate's openings in general, with more diversity, I feel like are gonna be a lot more common nowadays because of what they have done with the patch. And there you go. GBoy will take that victory, well deserved. We still see a Protoss representative into our semifinals, so kudos to that. So that is that, guys. So we'll look into the results real quick again. GBoy getting that 2-0. And this basically gives us 1 Protoss player 1 Terran player, and 2 Zergs into the semi. So kudos to our Zerg players though for finally making it to the top 4. So congratulations Jomsky and HNX for doing that. And they will be facing off against GBoy as well as GLG respectively. The G and G connection gonna be having that Protoss and Terrans weights under their back and more. And yeah, that's really gonna be the storyline. We're gonna be going into the next round, into the semifinals. But for now, our quarterfinals have been wrapped up, and that is gonna be that for our gold to diamond coverage. But don't forget, guys, that it is gonna be time for Masters Plus next on the list, and we have 3 games for you guys. That's the 2 lower bracket matches as well as the upper bracket final, so you don't want to miss that. You're gonna see some great Zerg play here and there. We're also gonna see some Protoss as well, so I cannot wait to see what this matchup will unfold. We'll see a ZVZ, we'll see a PvP, and we'll see another ZVC. So it's all about mirror matches. If you guys are interested in that or interested to see the top echelon of the local scene, then you know where to stay on. But this tournament would not be possible, of course, without our sponsors, Pure PC as well as Block 101. And like I said about Pure PC, they also have an additional prize for gold to diamond. It is that Fantech K613 Fighter TKL2 keyboard, RGB and all, like really comfy to use, and that is gonna go to our champion in gold to diamond. So one of the 4 players I mentioned before, GLG, Agent X, Jomsky, as well as GBoy, can take this one home alongside the prize pool we have established already. But Masters Plus is going to be coming your way very soon, guys, and we will be right back after a short break. Stick around. This is Quarantine Tournament number 5, round 4 coverage. It has been an amazing time in Gold to Diamond. I am so happy to see those games, but in the end, Mothership is calling home, and Mothership reigns supreme.